among the sages. A traveler once returned home to find a small black bag at his doorstep. There was no name, no note, no sound of footsteps fading in the distance. Just the bag. It pulsed with a strange energy, like it had waited lifetimes to find him. Inside, he found objects that didn't belong to anyone else. A faded photo of his father smiling for the first time, a torn page from his childhood diary, a letter he never wrote, but always meant to, and a ticking watch, frozen at the exact time he first whispered, "There must be more to life than this." My dear friend, if I could leave a black bag at your door today, do you know what it would contain? It would carry the lessons I've spent a lifetime gathering, not from books, not from temples, but from watching how rain touches a thirsty earth, from seeing a man die with peace in his eyes, and from learning how to let go of things I once thought I couldn't live without. Let's begin with this. Time is the most dangerous illusion. It stretches, it bends, it fools you into thinking you have enough. But the truth? Time is a thief that robs you while handing you gifts. It gives you birthdays and takes your childhood. It grants you careers and steals your curiosity. It lets you fall in love, but quietly snatches away the seconds you could have spent holding someone's hand a little longer. When I was a younger monk, I used to chase time. I would rise before the sun, meditate longer, walk farther, as if the more I did, the more I could capture life. But one day, my master smiled at me and said, "The most hurried monk is the one who thinks peace is a destination. Peace is not out there, waiting behind your next achievement. Peace is a chair that's always been sitting in the corner of your room, but you're too busy dusting the shelves of your future to sit in it." Let me ask you, when was the last time you sat still, not scrolling, not talking, not planning, just being? Can you even remember? This world worships motion. We chase productivity as if it's the god of happiness. But I have met the richest men who cry in silence, and the quietest, farmers who sing in their hearts. So here is the first gift from the black bag: stillness. It is not emptiness, it is presence. You are not your schedule. You are not your inbox. You are not the opinions people toss at you like coins into a well. You are a soul having a human experience, not a human desperately chasing the experience of a soul. Let me share a story from the monastery. There was once a young novice who was obsessed with unlocking the secrets of life. He fasted more than required, practiced silence for weeks, and read every scripture as if truth was hiding between the pages. One morning, exhausted and frustrated, he threw down the ancient scrolls and asked me, "When will I finally understand?" Poured him a cup of tea. He didn't drink it, just stared at it. After a while, I said, "The answer is in the tea." He looked confused. "You keep searching for wisdom like it's far away," I said. "But it's in this moment, in the warmth, the stillness, the breath. You miss it, because you're always looking beyond it. You see, most of us are living in the future's shadow. What will happen if I fail? What will they think? What if I never make it?" But the future is only a concept. No one has ever touched it. You can only feel this second, this breath, and maybe the next if you're lucky, which brings me to the next item in the bag: acceptance. True acceptance is not giving up. It's giving in to this moment as it is, not as you wish it to be, not as someone told you it should be, but as it actually is. When we fight reality, we lose 100% of the time. But when we soften into it, reality begins to show us its quiet beauty. The monk I once was used to resist everything: the rain, the cold, the harsh words of others, even my own emotions. But as I grew older, I realized resistance only strengthens what you fear. It's like trying to hold back the ocean with your hands. Eventually, you get tired, soaked, and disappointed. Instead, sit by the shore, watch the waves, learn from them. They come, they go. And so do your thoughts, your worries, your identities. Let them pass, because they always do. And as they pass, something strange happens. You begin to notice the space between the waves. And in that space is you, the real you, the one who is not chasing, not performing, just being. My friend, this is just the beginning of what the black bag holds. It contains mysteries, yes, but it also contains reminders of what you've always known but forgotten, of who you are when the world is silent. And so, as we walk further on this path together, let us gently open the next layer of this mysterious gift. Let us talk about what it means to live a life that doesn't just look full, but feels full. Let us explore the roots of desire, the nature of love, and the quiet strength of letting go. But we will do this not in haste, because wisdom is never rushed. Breathe deeply, smile softly. You've already begun the journey. Now that you've sat with me for a while, tell me, how does your breath feel right now? Is it shallow, quick, running alongside your thoughts? Or has it slowed? Has it started to feel like your companion instead of your shadow? You see, breathing is the most honest thing we do. It never lies. It always tells the story of where we are, mentally and emotionally. Before you say a word, before your thoughts form, your breath speaks, and what it often says is, I'm afraid. I'm rushed. I'm not here. But let me tell you something few people understand. The breath is a doorway, not just to the body, but to the soul. Each inhale is a gentle reminder. You are alive. Each exhale is an invitation. Let go. That's why I begin every day before the world wakes, not to be productive, but to remember. I sit, sometimes in silence, sometimes in prayer, but always in awareness. Because if I begin my day by remembering who I am, not what the world expects me to be, then I have already succeeded, even if I do nothing else. You might ask, but how do I remember who I am when the world is so loud? That's a beautiful question, and I will answer it with a story. There was once a poor boy in a village who found a shiny stone near a river. He brought it home and showed his grandfather. The old man looked at it carefully and whispered, "This is no ordinary stone. It's a forgotten treasure. But it's been buried in mud for so long, it doesn't even know it's valuable." Then, he gave the boy a cloth and said, "Polish it, gently, every day." So the boy did. He polished it while feeding goats. He polished it while walking to school. He polished it even when the village mocked him. Months passed, and one day, the stone shone so brightly that merchants came from far away to see it. It wasn't just valuable, it was rare, it was priceless. You too are that stone, covered in expectations, buried under disappointments, forgotten by even your own self. But if you polish, gently, every day, through silence, reflection, and honesty, you will shine again, and not just for the world, but for yourself. Now let's reach into the black bag again. Here, we find something that many of us carry unknowingly: regret. Regret is like carrying a rock in your shoe. Small at first, but over time it begins to hurt. You limp, you adapt. You forget how it feels to walk freely. I once met a man, very old, very successful in the eyes of the world. He told me, "I spent my whole life trying to build something others would admire, but I forgot to build a life I would actually enjoy." His eyes were not bitter, only tired. He wasn't angry at his past. He was just sad he had ignored his soul's whispers. If you hear your soul whispering now, listen. It's quieter than the world, but far more truthful. And if you ask me how to deal with regret, I'll tell you this. Meet it with compassion, not judgment. Regret is not your enemy. It is a teacher. It reminds you of what matters and invites you to begin again. No matter your age, your pain, your past mistakes, you can always begin again. That's what mourning teaches us. Every day, the sun rises on graves and gardens alike. It doesn't ask if you're worthy. It just shows up. So, show up for yourself. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to understand your whole path. Just take one mindful step. That is enough. Now let's talk about desire. Ah yes, the fire that never sleeps. Desire is not evil. Wanting joy, love, connection, even abundance, these are natural. But when we become obsessed with chasing things, we forget to enjoy them when they arrive. I had a student who once said, "I'll be happy when I earn enough to never worry again." Years later, he had the money, but not the peace, because his heart had become addicted to pursuit, not presence. You see, desire only brings happiness if it's rooted in gratitude. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and enough is the most peaceful place a soul can live. So here's another treasure from the black bag: simplicity. Simplicity doesn't mean living with nothing. It means living with only what supports your joy. Let go of the extra clothes, the extra comparisons, the extra proving, performing, pretending. Simplicity gives space, and in space, you can finally breathe. Let me pause here, my friend, because even listening requires space. This isn't just a lesson, it's a practice. So I invite you now, wherever you are, to close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. And remember, you are not broken. You are unfolding. Everything that has happened to you has brought you here. To this moment, to this pause, to this door. And behind that door, the journey continues. In the next part of our walk together, we will open even deeper parts of the black bag, including love, loss, and the quiet power of forgiveness. But for now, just be here, not rushing forward, not clinging to the past, just here. Welcome back, my friend. You've stayed with me this far, and that tells me something about you. You're not here for noise. You're here for truth. And truth rarely shouts. It whispers. Let us now reach deeper into the black bag that life leaves at your door. This time, let's talk about something that every soul will encounter. Love. Yes, love. It's one of the most misunderstood forces in the human experience. We are taught to chase it, possess it, label it, protect it. But love is not a thing you find. It's a state you remember. When I first arrived at the monastery, I believed I had to abandon love to walk the spiritual path. No attachments, no desires, no relationships. But over time, I realized that true love isn't about attachment. It's about expansion. You see, real love doesn't cling. It allows. It allows you to be yourself. It allows others to grow. It allows change, even if that means letting go, and if someone you love must walk a different path. Love doesn't fight it. Love bows and blesses that path, even if it hurts. One of the most heartbreaking things I ever witnessed was a man who couldn't forgive his brother. They hadn't spoken in years, and by the time he decided to reach out, his brother had passed away. He told me. I was waiting for the right moment to forgive him, but that moment never came. So I say this gently, but clearly, don't wait to forgive. Forgiveness isn't a gift you give to someone else. It's the chain you remove from your own heart. You are not free while carrying anger. You are not at peace while carrying bitterness, and no one else can take that weight from you but you. People will hurt you. That is life. But how long you bleed from their wound, that is your choice. Let me tell you something that changed my life. You can forgive someone without saying a word to them. You can forgive them in your heart, in your stillness, in your willingness to no longer carry their shadow. And while we're speaking of shadows, let us open the part of the bag no one likes to touch. Loss. Loss is a teacher that doesn't use words. It uses silence. The silence left by a voice that used to call your name. The silence in the room where laughter once lived. The silence in your chest after someone you love walks away or passes away. I've sat beside many as they took their final breath. And each time I am reminded, life is not long. It is precious. And when you love deeply, you will feel loss deeply. But hear this. Grief is not the absence of love. It is the continuation of love. To grieve is to honor what was real. To cry is not weakness. It's reverence. It means your heart has truly lived. So don't push away your sadness. Hold it like a sacred fire. It will burn, yes, but it will also light the way. Because in grief, we remember how fragile life is. And that memory can become our greatest guide. I once met a mother who had lost her son. Every year on his birthday, she would plant a tree in a new village. When I asked why, she said, "Because something should grow from my pain. Even if he's gone, I want the world to breathe a little easier because he was here." That is the power of love and loss. It can destroy you, or it can transform you. Now, I'd like to bring your attention to something even more sacred: presence. It may sound simple, but in truth, presence is one of the most difficult and noble things a person can offer. To be fully here with someone, to listen without forming your reply, to watch the moon rise without trying to capture it on a screen, to look into someone's eyes without flinching from their pain or hiding your own. Presence is love in its purest form, and you cannot give it to others unless you first give it to yourself. So ask yourself this gently. When was the last time you were truly present with you? Not fixing, not criticizing, not judging, just being with your own presence, like a friend sitting quietly beside a friend. The final item we'll remove from the black bag today is this: choice. At every moment, you are choosing how you live. You may not choose what happens to you, but you always choose how you respond. Do you respond with fear, with love, with blame, with compassion? Every day you wake up, the world hands you two invisible paintbrushes, one dipped in fear, the other in grace. And you begin to paint your day with one of them. Unaware sometimes, but always with choice. You don't need to change the world in one day. You just need to choose one act of grace, one kind word, one moment of deep breath, one pause before reacting. That's how transformation begins. Not in explosions, but in gentle ripples that slowly change the course of the river. So as we prepare to close this chapter, let us not rush. Let us sit for just a few seconds more in the stillness we've created. Let the words settle not in your mind, but in your heart. Feel them like a warm blanket, not answers, but companions. Let your heart remember, you are not alone. You never were. And the black bag at your door? It wasn't random. It was a reminder that life, in all its mess, mystery, and magic, has chosen you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are exactly where your soul wants to awaken. Now, my dear friend, we've walked quite a distance together, not across lands or through cities, but across the soft, silent terrain of the soul. And look how far you've come from the moment we opened that black bag, with all its mystery and weight. we've looked at what most people spend their whole lives avoiding: pain, desire, love, loss, regret, forgiveness, and the power of choice. But we didn't just examine these things from a distance. We sat with them, we gave them names, we gave them space, and in doing so, we gave ourselves permission to breathe again. Let me tell you a secret I've learned after many decades of silence, prayer, and presence. The most enlightened people I've met are not the ones who have all the answers. They're the ones who are fully alive in the question. The ones who walk gently, who love deeply, who cry without shame and laugh without guilt, who know that life is both brief and boundless, and that every single heartbeat is a sacred opportunity. You may never get all the things you dreamed of. You may lose what you thought you couldn't live without. But if you can learn to be present with what is, to breathe through what hurts, to bless what you cannot control, then, my friend, you have found true peace. There is no perfect life waiting for you on the other side of your next achievement. There is only this life, right now, imperfect, beautiful, fleeting. This life, where sunsets happen whether you watch them or not. Where love is born in the quiet moments between words. Where your soul is always whispering, "Come back, come home, come here." So let me leave you with this. Whatever is weighing on you, you can put it down. You don't have to carry every story. You don't have to fix every broken piece. You just have to take the next kind step, the next mindful breath, the next honest conversation with yourself or with someone else. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. The beginning of you returning, not to something new, but to what was always quietly waiting inside you. Stillness, grace, wisdom, presence. You don't need to become someone else. You simply need to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. So, as the light begins to dim and this shared silence gently dissolves, I want you to ask yourself one final question. Not with your mind, but with your heart. What truly matters to me? If the answer comes as a whisper, or as a wave of emotion, or as a peaceful stillness, then you've heard what you came here to hear. Keep walking, my friend. Keep choosing presence. Keep polishing your stone quietly, gently with love, and when the next black bag appears at your door, you'll know what to do. You'll sit with it. You'll open it with courage, and you'll say, another gift from life. Thank you for sharing your breath, your time, and your heart with me. Until we meet again, may your path be soft, your heart be clear, and your soul forever at peace.